guys, I'm back with another review after a long absence. I apologize for that. I went full-time at my workplace, so my free time has been decreased significantly. Today's review is Inside Out, in my opinion a phenomenally well done movie. When Pixar announced the idea for this movie, I was rather looking forward to seeing it in theaters. I thought the concept was very original, the casting was very diverse, it was very unique and fun idea, and I was just really looking forward to see this. Even when the commercials started coming out, the animation looked very stunning as well, and I just all around couldn't wait for it to come out. And when it finally did, it was everything I was expecting and more. The one thing that I say a lot about this movie to other people is that it is an amazing example of an emotional breakdown. About how stress caused by change can create an emotional breakdown, especially in one so young, such as Riley, and caused by having to move so far away from her home and her friends and her family, or her memories. And it's just a really good example of this kind of thing. It's a good lesson to teach young kids because Riley's still young, she's still exploring who she is, she's still developing her personality basically, and suddenly she's thrust into a new world, has to basically start from scratch with new friends and everything, and she's just so far away from what she used to know that it becomes very stressful. And on top of that, her parents want her to stay happy. Like, that actually sounds really bad, but through the trip being moved, she did remain happy, and she was like taking this all very optimistically because that is who Riley is, that's who she was defined in the beginning of the movie. But she slowly does start to slip into disapproval and gets a little angry at having to be moved and having her perfect life disrupted. And so she does start to get angry, but her mother comes in and is very proud of her for staying happy, for keeping a brave face for her father because he had to move for his new job. And so her mother's very pleased with her, and then she promises, okay, yeah, I'll be happy, I'll stay happy during this transition. And that puts even more stress on her because she's trying to stay happy, but then everything just goes wrong. And that is a very good thing to show anyone, really, because this is it's a great lesson. Moving on to talk about the actual movie, not just the lesson aspect about it, but it was a very unique and creative movie, very, very interesting take on what goes on in a person's mind done by Pixar. The casting was actually brilliant as well, and was shown through the animation, the gorgeous animation, so well. The facial expressions, especially on Joy, were my absolute favorite. And knowing, being familiar with the voice actress who played her, you can just tell that some of the expressions on Joy's face were actually made by the voice actress in recording, and you can just tell, and it's just hilarious. The movie also explores the importance of emotions, all emotions. I mean, there's really only 5 depicted in the movie, which let's face it, you can't show all the emotions because there's just too many. But they had a good set of emotions there, and they showed the importance of each emotion. Even emotions that you would think were negative, they get shown to be not as negative as we think. Even sadness has a point in being there. It shows the importance of sadness, that you have to be sad to be happy, basically. And it's almost like showing the yin-yang balance of life. The movie does an amazing job of explaining in a very creative way how things could possibly work in a person's mind, such as long-term memory, train of thought, or how those silly, ridiculous commercial jingles just pop into your head at the most random times. It also shows the vast creativity of the actual studio, being as this movie took 5 years to put into production, to actually get out there. It took a long time to nail down the idea and exactly how they were going to take it. This movie was an amazing experience, and to be honest, the only negative thing I can say about it is the storyline of two characters who formerly weren't fond of each other, then bond over an adventure. That's a storyline that Pixar has done a lot of, and they do it well, but it's to the point where it's familiar. But even with that, it does not take away from the stunning masterpiece that is Inside Out. I highly recommend viewing this movie for its creativity, its uniqueness, and its complex exploration of the mind, the workings of the mind, in a way only Pixar can. This movie gets a 5 out of 5 star rating in my books.